#1 food brand on QVC. Nominated for most recommended brand in the Customer Choice Food Awards. Yet again, it's Rastelli. For the next 699 of you, and that's it, we have got something very, very special. There are 6 of these. They are huge. And Ray Rastelli, who's joining us, after selling out last time it was on the air, I just want to clarify the name of it, because one of the words here is Petite. By Petite, that's the technical restaurant term. We don't mean small when we say petite. These are massive.
They are. These are a steak for 2. These are 8 ounces, Rick. These are called our petite tenders, and I'll explain to you what that is in a minute. But I want you to understand it's all Black Angus. This is the finest beef you can get. There's only 2 of these on every steer. I'm going to show you how small they are. It's why, in fact, they're called petite tenders, because they're smaller than the tenderloin. But these are
the tenderloin.
From the tenderloin. But these are the biggest steaks we've got here.
But as a wide shot, when you take a look at this is the size of what you're physically going to be getting.
Yes.
So let me show you that, because that's done perfectly, by the way. That could not be done more medium rare, more than the way I want it ever. These are the size. Auto deliveries available, by the way, every 90 days if you want to go for it. But more just arrived, but we do not have many to go around. So these are the size and the thickness of all of these. They're individually wrapped up. It is technically not a filet, but what's the restaurant? What's the 5-star white tablecloth restaurant? The name of it on the menu.
They call this on their menu a petite tenderloin steak because it's a tender. I want you to notice this. This is all we get out of every beef. So can you imagine that? This is only a total of about 4 pounds. So they're very limited. We take the ends off of each. You're getting 8 ounces of center, which means we've taken every piece of fat off of it, every piece of bone, and every piece of gristle. So when you put this steak on your grill or in your air fryer or in your oven, you are going to cook it, and I recommend cooking this to medium rare.
Wow.
You're going to slice from one end to the other. That's why this steak really is for 2. You're not going to see the steak in any supermarkets. So I promise you that.
One of these would be a steak for 2.
Absolutely.
2 4-ounce. And I'm going to dive in.
Yes,
I'm going to have that one right now. You don't mind.
Nope. Yeah,
fantastic. I'll slice that up and say yes, please. Okay, now when you order them, love the idea of it. How are you making this?
So it's really, really simple. When they come to you, they're all individually vacuum packed. Now, I will also tell you.
Tastes like a filet.
Yes, tastes like a filet.
Tastes like a filet.
Tender as a filet. And what we've done is we've marinated.
Wow.
Yes, we've marinated these in our special steakhouse seasoning. Everyone knows our special steakhouse seasoning. Yes. That's why what you're tasting is that really bold flavor. But the tenderness comes from the name. It's a petite tender. It's a very tender steak. It's got 0 fat. You're going to eat from one end to the other, and it's 8 ounces. So when I say it's for 2, it's for 2.
Oh, my heavens. By the way, I didn't put any salt, any pepper on there.
Don't have to do anything with this.
The seasoning's all there.
Exactly.
That's absolutely fantastic.
And when you slice into it, I want you to see just how beautiful it is. Not just the moisture of it, but I want you to see the texture of this steak, right? It's like a filet mignon. Look at the texture of this steak. And of course, because it's Black Angus and it's been aged for 28 days, this steak, every bite is going to be incredibly tender. And there's so much you can do with it. Dave, Rick, down here, I made 2. I took 2 plates, and out of 1 steak, look at how much steak we've got out of each.
By the way, I went to a steakhouse recently in the King of Prussia. It's an area here, right? Yeah. With a buddy of mine. It was a $72 steak.
Yes.
It was 72 bucks. Like for the 1 steak that you got, right? I couldn't believe it. Like, do I need a home equity loan here? So you're getting a lot here, a lot of meat coming your way. And it's really an interesting story behind it. Is there the flavor difference? Now I'm going down this flavor profile road.
Yes. So this is what makes this so special when you think about this. So what is the most flavorful piece on a steer? It's the shoulder, right? It's the shoulder because it has marbling in it. That's where the petite tender comes from. It's a muscle that does not get used very much. That's why it's so tender. Whereas the filet mignon comes from the loin area, right? So it's a different area. It's not used, so it's tender, right? So this is why I brought this today. You're only going to find, if you find this at all, other than with QVC, you're going to find it in those really fancy steakhouses, primarily in New York and in the big cities. Wow. The French restaurants love using this because there is no fat. Every single slice is going to look
no bone,
just
no
like
fat.
that. And
It's fewer than
tender.
700 to go around.
Look at how tender that is.
That
I mean,
looks
it is
really
just
great.
Incredible.
Do you sear it first when you sear yours? Do you sear it like a fillet or like a ribeye?
I will tell you, the favorite way for me to cook this, because it's already so incredibly
Jane
tender.
Brown loves
okay,
beef.
Jane, there you go.
The tenderloin's my favorite,
Yeah.
so I had to try this with
This
the
is
marinade.
the petite
So
tender.
this is
with
called
the
the
marinade.
petite
There you go.
tender. Oh, totally marinated. Didn't put any salt or no seasoning on it
Okay.
because it's already been on it already. So it's been marinated. That's a brilliant idea.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. What?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh my goodness. I know that restaurant you were talking about.
Right? 72
Wow.
bucks. Crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
This is
that good?
really, really delicious. So final thoughts on this beef, Ray. So
Wow.
this is the petite tender.
It's the petite tender. It's very, very special.
Very good.
You're not going to find this anywhere but in a very exclusive restaurants. There's only a very small amount of them on every steer. It's taken us, I think, 3 months, Rick, to get these back. in
Wow.
stock. Because this is so lean and because it has got no fat on it, you're going to be able to feed 2 people with one of these 8 ounces, because look at it. Every single slice will be.
That's a great
just like-
close-up shot.
And every
It's
one,
about as good as it gets.
Everyone looks like that. Look, as I take the next one.
Yeah, every one of
They're
your slices looks like that, all the way through.
all the same.
Price goes up at the end of the day. Easy Pay goes away at the end of the day. Free shipping and handling is here as well. So it's M96531, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. They're here on Easy Pay. What a special occasion gift this is going to be. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Ray Rastelli. Hey, we got from Ray Rastelli to a small bakery. Is that right, Jane Brown?
Right. We are going to right outside of Chicago, I believe, to Hans Bakery. And